speaking behind the bench
Yeah.
is that's another whole thing. This is what most coaches do, and this is a huge mistake. It's okay to be no. Most coaches think that coaching is raw motivational speeches all the time, and if you go in there with energy and even in practice, I've seen this so many times. Like people go, "Man, the coach is intense. Like it's awesome. He's intense." And I'll see it and I'll go, "He's not really intense. He's actually just yelling and screaming and trying to get some energy or trying to look like he knows what he's doing." But there's not a lot of good quality stuff coming out of his boosh, right? So coaching isn't about giving a motivational speech every day. Now, having said that, there's some people like I have the ability to be able to when I would go in my dressing rooms and stuff, have a message that would elevate their
get them fired up, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily to get them to go rah. It was to get them to like, okay, I'm into it, or it might be like get them knowing why they're playing hard and stuff. Like, so I had that ability. Not everybody does, but mine wasn't like raw. It was like purposeful and stuff. So, but then there's a lot of people that like I could tell them the most motivating story, or it could happen right in front of their face, and they'll walk into the dressing room and they just the demeanor and everything about them is just like, "Hey guys, let's go." And they sound like they're giving their accountants giving the financial data from a Fortune 500 company, and the kids are sitting there falling asleep. Right? It's no good. Right?
That's right.
But they do, and they talk and they speak and they go through every detail and stuff, and it's like,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
So there's a fine line. So the thing is it's not about motivational speeches. Have short little messages, but what it is about is ensuring that, like, this is where I said work ethic. Always ensure that they're working hard, right? So a kid can appreciate that. So, like I said, if you're 8 years old or if you're 14 years old, and you're AAA or you're not, I think not every kid, but most people like to be told that they've worked hard or I think you could do a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right? So it's coaching effort is number one. Coaching effort, and then the next part would be, if there is systems in your thing, is coach the system. Right? So you're not just saying, "Guys, let's work hard," because it means nothing. Right? It's "Hey, Charlie, that shift that you just did there, do you see what happened when you went to that puck and you knocked it off his stick? I know you don't think it was a goal, but that kept it in their end for an extra 30 seconds. That's good job, buddy." And then he goes, "Oh, okay, I did something good. That's encouraging. I'm going to do that again."
Yeah.
And then a lot of coaches, so the opposite of that is what a lot of people do is, like, they're not giving motivational speeches. They walk around with a furry eyeball all the time, looking at kids and trying to find their mistakes and just barking at mistakes. That's not necessary. It's actually helpful, but it's not helpful now for youth hockey, right? There's a way to explain it. So I think it's so let's say I'm going to use Charlie sitting here right now. So we do that same example I just used for Charlie. You go, "Hey, Charlie," comes to the bench. You go, "Hey, Charlie, when you went to go get that puck, you went to knock it off your stick, but what happened there? Your feet weren't moving. What happened when your feet aren't moving? He got the puck out, and then we were back checking, so we had a chance to keep it in. And if you just put that little bit more effort, moving your feet a little bit more, getting there, like really, really want that puck. You know what's going to happen, son? You're going to have that puck in the zone. You're probably going to score a goal.
Yeah.
So that's the same. It's the same. It's a message, but in a way that he's learning. So he's probably going to take that message instead of saying you need to move your feet, or why were you lazy, or whatever the negative thing is. But if you sandwich it into something like you were doing a good job until here, but you had to just fix that. Next time you do it, good things are going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's how you learn, right?
I think what you're kind of packaging up, the first part of that you were talking about, was you kind of have to know yourself as a coach too. So you were saying about the motivational speech thing, like you as a coach, you have that ability where you can be a little bit more motivational when you get all fired up, like it's inspiring to listen to, and you can get the kids going. Not everybody has that ability, and kids are very good judges of pretend, right? So it's important that you're genuine and you are who you are.
For sure.
To the kids, because the kids pick up on bullshit right away.
Yeah.
They don't have to say it. They wouldn't even know that they are picking up on it, but they can tell very easily if you're not genuine, or if you're not doing things that you would normally do or say yourself, So I think it's important that you be who you are, be genuine about it, be honest about it, and all that kind of stuff. And don't try to put yourself into the mold of what you think a coach should be if it's not something that you actually have within yourself to do.
Yeah,
I think that's important, because kids read that right away. So you don't have to go in and be the rah guy just because you think that's what coaches do. You know, you can be, because me as a coach, like the guys that when I'm training the kids in here, I'm not a rah guy. Like the odd time I'll get hype just like because if they're doing a big lift or whatever, because that's fun. But I'm not like a yell and scream and get in your grill. Like I never do that with these guys. Because to me, like what I laid out with them at the start is it's not my job at their age. It's not my job to make you work hard. You work hard, right? If you don't want to work hard, I'm not going to make you work hard, you know? So I don't have that in me where I'm real rah in their face yelling and screaming. I don't do that because that's not part of me. I'm not like that. You know, so you don't have to do things like that just because you think that's what coaches do. That's kind of the first part. And then the second thing, you've talked about this before too. You're talking about, you know, when kids come to the bench after their shift and all that kind of stuff. The kind of meta thing I'll pull out of that is you're coaching the kids on the bench. You're not coaching the kids on the ice.
That's right.
You know, and you've made this point before, and I think it's such an important thing that
I know where you're going.
That coaches and especially like parent coaches or people without experience, they don't know is they're on the bench with their foot on the boards, over the boards, yelling,
so true.
Yelling shit on the ice.
Pass,
move
it,
back,
skate,
back check, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like they aren't listening to you.
No,
they're on the ice playing the game.
Don't hear you.
They're on the ice playing the game. They're not listening to you. You know, so your job as the coach from the behind the bench perspective is to talk to the kids on the bench.
Yeah,
you know, that's who you're coaching. It's not the guys that are in the moment playing the game. You know, so I don't know if you want to rip on that.
Well, yeah,
so that's a great
like
point.
There's a lot of times coaches just they feel like they're not coaching if they're not yelling something or screaming something or, you know, doing a commentary on the game. Pass it, like move it, nice play. It's not coaching. That's anybody can do that. You're Howard Cosell now, right? You got a microphone. You're explaining what what's happening in the game.
Yeah.
What you want to do if you need to say something, which you try to pick your spots. But like, let's say we're puck's in our end and it's coming out. Maybe you're saying to the boys, okay, boys, let's you should be looking up the wall, looking up the boards. There's the open guy. You guys see that? Like, so maybe some guys hear it, some guys don't, right? He's got the puck. We got to be looking to move that, guys. You got to be moving the puck in that situation to create a 2-on-1 or whatever. But you'll see that turnover, boys, at the blue line. We got to make sure that gets over the blue line so that you can get it in the other end. Just that's the way you should be coaching. And then when kids come to the bench, you're explaining things to them if you can.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, like, and if you don't really know the game that well, that's why just the work ethic is another piece to coach around.
Yeah.
But so I guess in that situation, we're looking at, if you're going to give instruction, you probably have some idea how the game's played.
Well, I think
you have some experience.
But I think to that point, sorry to cut you off, is
it's okay.
You should, if you're coaching, you have to be prepared.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you can't coach to specific skills or specific in-game decisions because you're not that experienced, you can coach to your system or you can coach to whatever you do have prepared. You know, if you're at younger levels and we're just having fun and whatever, then it's different and you're just letting the kids play, then it's not that consequential. But as they get older, assuming you've made a plan as the coach and you're going into games and practices prepared with whatever the systems are that you're teaching and coaching, you should know the system.
Well,
you should understand what the system is designed to do and how it works so that you can coach to that. You know, if it's not maybe not a specific in-game decision, if you're not experienced enough to know exactly what the kid should do or what play should have been made, but you should be able to coach to the systems. So because you should have them prepared and you should know
100%.
You should know why you're doing them.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't know why you're doing the system you're doing and you're just sitting behind the bench confused, it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't be coaching.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's 100%.
So that's what I would say on that.